So last Saturday, my family decided to host one of those good old backyard barbecues. You know the type. Plastic lawn chairs, a cooler full of soda, the smell of burgers wafting through the air, and Aunt Linda swearing the potato salad recipe is her own. We were all having a great time, catching up and enjoying the beautiful weather. That's when Uncle Bob, who had already consumed a few too many beers, decided to get a little competitive. He saw a squirrel perched on the fence, eyeing the grill with that unmistakable look of mischief in its eyes. Uncle Bob, being Uncle Bob, leaned over and said, "I'll bet I can out-eat you in hot dogs, you little furball." Now, we all thought Uncle Bob was just being his usual goofy self, but he took it seriously. He lined up a plate full of hot dogs and somehow managed to coax the squirrel down with a little piece of bun. To our amazement, the squirrel seemed game. That's when things took a turn for the bizarre. Neighbors started gathering around, drawn by the spectacle of a man versus squirrel showdown. Someone even brought out a whiteboard to keep score. Uncle Bob was going toe-to-toe with this squirrel, who was surprisingly adept at stuffing hot dogs into its tiny cheeks, and it was starting to look like we had front-row seats to the most unexpected event of the summer. As the contest progressed, the tension mounted. People began placing bets, and the atmosphere was electric. Uncle Bob was sweating, not just from the heat, but from the realization that this little creature wasn't any ordinary squirrel. It was as if the squirrel had been training for this very moment. The hot dogs just kept disappearing into its cheeks faster than Uncle Bob could chew. That's when someone shouted, "I swear I've seen that squirrel before." The mystery deepened, and the crowd was abuzz with speculation. Finally, after what felt like the most intense 20 minutes of our lives, the squirrel claimed victory, finishing its last hot dog with a triumphant twitch of its bushy tail. Uncle Bob, defeated but good-natured, was left to ponder his loss. Just then, the guy who recognized the squirrel spoke up again. "I knew it," he exclaimed. "That's no ordinary squirrel. It's a ringer from Nathan's hot dog eating contest." And with that, the crowd erupted into laughter, realizing they just witnessed the most ridiculous yet unforgettable barbecue ever. Uncle Bob chuckled along, saying, "Well, I guess I got bested by a nut job."